The app I have chosen is Mental Imagery Therapy for Autism. To give you all some background on autism, the idea emerging is that this is a condition of brain underconnectivity between regions rather than an issue with discrete regions. In other words, children with autism tend to have difficulty with integrating incoming information, as with incoming sensory audiovisual input, for example. While all cases of autism are different, the dynamic condition may affect language and social functioning, including theory of mind. Autism can also affect emotion, visual attention, including combining different parts of the visual world. And to this point, one fundamental aspect of autism is something called stimulus overselectivity. This is when a person focuses on only one aspect of an object or a part of their environment while ignoring all other aspects. So, like being locked in, for example. So another example here is that it may be difficult to distinguish between a fork and a spoon, maybe because the person diagnosed is focusing on the silver color of the utensils and ignoring all other salient features. Regions that may be affected in autism are many. It's an issue of connectivity in the brain, so pretty much all structures in the brain are affected. You can see here in the list. Interventions need to be individualized since there are many circuits that can potentially be impacted. As I said before, stimulus overselectivity is a core feature, and this tends to be addressed best by pivotal response treatment. One intervention, mental imagery therapy for autism, this is an app. It involves a computer brain training program for toddlers and preschoolers that supposedly has the potential to change autistic children's developmental trajectory. It is based on the widely used therapy by clinicians called pivotal response treatment, like I said. The exercises are geared towards having a child notice and respond to real world cues, and there's evidence to suggest that the exercises improve, meaning weaken, stimulus over selectivity, and promote sensory integration, and promote enhanced communication skills and fine motor skills. You can see here that the child first has to get the hang of the assignment and simply move one piece to its appropriate spot. This is a more difficult task on the left. Children need to attend to color on the left side, and on the right size. Even though this is only one aspect of the image at a time, the child is still gaining the ability to switch between different aspects of focus. This is a steady progression onto the next more difficult exercise. The child now has to match both color and shape on the left and color and size on the right. Do take a note that the objects are real. They are trains, helicopters, and cars, and so on. Here's another example. Yet again, things are more challenging with color, shape, and size this time. Here, all different stimulus parts are viewed simultaneously, so this is an expert level. This also provides some gestalt psychology, since in the middle image, takes the assumption that the child understands that the image of the window is complete. It's a full circle. This is just to show you that things get more progressively difficult over time, that in each progressive stage there's more visual cues attended to at once. This is to show you here that children take a verbal assignment to match the shapes, for example, which then prompt them to follow visual cues. Children will then, over numerous trials, be able to combine different features of these visual cues. It is important to note that while being verbal helps a lot, it is not necessarily the most important feature of completing these tasks because the child will get the hang of it after trial and error. It's good because there are many levels that progress from easy to more difficult. It's good because the exercises are geared towards the goal of promoting sensory integration and destroying that stimulus over selectivity fixation. The exercises are good because the children can try it as many times as it takes in order to move on to the next stage. Upon finishing a round, the little yellow circle guy here, as you could see in the corner, starts cheering for you and telling you that you're doing so well. And here, another positive thing is the exposure to real life context like a living room. Notice how I had to match the clock to the wall and the apple to the table in the back. Also notice how these two objects are the same shape and size. It's bad because this game, or this app rather, assumes that children have verbal skills and will understand verbal instructions, but as many as 50% of individuals with autism are nonverbal and 80% are intellectually challenged. Tying the next two critiques together, I don't really want to refer to this as a game because it's not. These are exercises because the children are not really held motivated. The exercises lack a plot and a reason to have kids come back to continue engaging. Between 30 and 50% of individuals with autism also manifest ADHD symptoms, so concentration is surely a big factor for dropout. Another critique is that objects are not named. Children are learning to integrate different aspects of the visual scene, but the different aspects of the visual scene are itself not named, like the different animals, the colors, and the shapes. Lastly, the game lacks any kind of collaborative option, which is important for children with autism, considering that children with autism have poor social communication. So theories include behaviorists because the children continuously progress until the next stage, and this progression is a type of reinforcement. Constructivist because a child is finding his or her way through the problem set and is moving forward on his or her own and is using what they learned previously to help them currently, kind of like element interactivity and intrinsic cognitive load. Situated theory applies here too because of the real life context, and informal and lifelong learning because of pretty much the same reasons. Kids get exposure to real animals, cars, people, parts of the room, etc., none of which are specific to the task, but you get acquainted with these normative images. Here are the references. Thank you very much, guys.